I'm Bernard de Vaal, and you're watching Cooked Up, Shook Up, or Has It Been Looked Up, where I take you by the hand, sit you down, and gently rub your nose in the actual facts of the stories you felt the need to share far and wide. On the stand today, a statue of a Native American going up at the US Embassy in Russia, and Swedish Parliament rejects 7 proposals for mandatory vaccinations. The last couple of weeks, the legacy of Cold War politics was reignited. A bloc of Western powers booted out several Russian diplomats in reaction to the killing of ex-Russian spy Sergei Skripal with a Soviet military-grade nerve toxin on British soil. The tit-for-tat diplomacy has brought on a storm of muscle flexing by trolls and legitimate reporters on either side of the not-so-rusty Iron Curtain. On the stand, Russia built a monument to memorialize the genocide of Native Americans outside the US Embassy in Russia. The verdict? A big fat cook-up. In November 2015, English and Russian social media accounts started appearing with the sole purpose of promoting a petition on change.org calling for the construction of this monument. The Russian petition stated, "The United States does not recognize the destruction of more than 15 million indigenous people. In the name of the bright memory of the Indians who died bravely in an unequal war with treacherous invaders, we ask you for the statue." The petition was posted by a Russian video blogger, Vladimir Larin, known to advocate for pre-1991 Soviet borders, which includes reintegrating the Ukraine. In January 2016, a member of the public chamber of the Russian Federation, Valery Korovin, said the petition was timely and support likely. The story jumped the pond, with the Observer picking up on it. It was followed in March by the native Sun News Today's headline, "Russia to honor the American Indians." The language used placed Russian nationalism in the same boat as the Native Americans' battle against the American colonizer. The spreading of the rumor led to official criticism by the US intelligence community. There was, however, never any evidence that the monument was ever going to be constructed or even approved. The idea started and ended with Lauren's Change.org campaign. It is therefore nothing less than tossing bear fat on an already potentially nuclear crackling campfire. This week, reports on the rejection of legislation on mandatory vaccinations is back in the spotlight. For years now, detractors of childhood inoculation have spurred on the rhetoric of its link to autism. The claim: the Swedish Parliament rejected 7 proposals in May 2017 to establish a mandatory vaccination program, enacting a ban on the practice. The verdict? It's a cautious cook-up. The Swedish Parliament rejected 2 proposals calling for mandatory vaccinations, but already has a voluntary vaccination program. Frequent purveyors of fake news, yournewswire.com, reported a massive resistance by Swedes to all forms of coercion with regard to vaccinations. According to the report, their parliament further made reference to frequent serious adverse reactions in children who receive vaccinations. You suck! A spokesperson for the Public Health Agency of Sweden commented that the 2 proposals were not rejected because the vaccinations could be harmful, but because all healthcare, including vaccinations, are voluntary in Sweden. Say what? Despite being voluntary, more than 97% of 2-year-olds have been vaccinated. The European Centers for Disease Control reported that the country reported an increase of measles cases in 2017. The original story came from alternative health group the National Health Federation, who has been severely excoriated by American Cancer Society for promoting cancer treatment with no evidence of objective benefit in human beings. Dear Sweden, freedom of choice is good until such time that it endangers others. Sometimes the ignorant just needs a little push for the benefit of the human species. Forstar du? Bra. Thank you for joining me. I'm Bernard de Vaal, and you've been watching Cooked Up, Shook Up, or Looked Up. Check in again next week, where I invite you to peek over my shoulder as I dissect those stories that flew into your mouth and almost didn't make you gag.